What do you make of the stories and reports of nuclear weapons facilities being shut down when there was a sighting and that these things hovered over these nuclear facilities and they shut them down?
Right. That happened in 1967 at the Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, where there were 10 ICBMs that shut down.
Yeah.
And remember, this is our nuclear strike force. They have to be operational 24/7, right?
And they shut down.
They shut down. And in the presence of a glowing ball in the air.
Yeah.
So people put two and two together and said maybe the aliens want to neutralize our ICBMs for the hell of it. We don't know. All we know is that these are military men. These are military-grade equipment. There's plenty of documentation. And I think there's 120 military men over the years who've said that there are things like this at other missile bases.
Yes.
Now, that means at least one of two things. Either the aliens are interested in our nuclear capability, or they just, or our military simply has sensors everywhere that the average amateur does not. And therefore, of course the military is going to pick it up because they have the radar, they have the sensors, and we don't. But it's random, basically. So there's several ways of looking at that.
So it could be random that the machines and that all the ICBMs shut down at the same time that they're being visited by an unexplained aerial phenomenon.
That's also possible,
it's
right?
Possible.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were an intelligent species that had an eye on Earth and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, you know, they're coming along, but they're kind of crazy. They're wild territorial apes with thermonuclear weapons, and they get jealous and greedy, and some of them are evil sociopaths, and they lack moral intelligence, and they do crazy stuff. We have to just make sure that they don't destroy themselves. Because one of the things that about UFO lore that I find fascinating is the uptick, the generally agreed upon uptick that happened after the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like that those bombs were dropped, and that once they realized that we not only had nuclear capability, but that we were willing to murder hundreds of thousands of people, that's when all the sightings started. Like they go, oh, Jesus, okay, well, we got to go visit these people.
Well, that's possible. That's one theory.
Yeah.
Other people say that after World War II, people got used to the idea of things in the sky,
Right.
Gigantic bombers and weapons of war in the sky. And every time someone saw something in the sky, they would think, oh my God, they're not U.S. bombers, they're alien bombers, right?
Yeah.
We don't know, but that's a possibility. You see, when you start to hit type 1 status, you become interesting. Because before type 1, you cannot destroy yourself as a civilization.
Right.
Nothing known to science can completely destroy a type 1 civilization unless there's a virus of some sort. Because they have no weapons that can do that. Once you're type 1, you have nuclear weapons. You discover element 92. As a type 0 civilization, you discover element 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is element 92?
Uranium.
Yeah.
So once you go up the scale and you're type 1, you eventually inevitably hit element 92, which is uranium, which has a finite critical mass, about 20 pounds, and you're able to create a nuclear weapon. And that's at the instant that you have become a type 1 civilization. So if I was an alien with an advanced civilization, I would monitor those planets that are on the verge of becoming type 1. Because those are the planets that have the capability of discovering element 92.
And once they did discover element 92 and implemented it in warfare, then I would think if you were really concerned, that would be the time to step in.
Yeah. Now that's, of course, purely hypothetical.
Yes.
But there is a logical basis to thinking about that, because we are about to make the greatest transition in human history from type 0 to type 1.